What's going on out there, everybody? This is Freddie with JDS Kennels. As you can see, my yard is a muddy mess, but the pups and the big doggies look good. Look at them, they growing up. They'll be some nice bullies. Look at that girl over there. This big boy, just like his daddy. Go. Go. Hey. What's going on out there, everybody? This is Freddie with JDS Kennels. I know I ain't dropped a video in a while, but you guys been on the road a whole lot. So, just a little backstory. JDS Kennels got into trucking last year, well, the year before. December 24, I bought the truck, and me and my wife bought the truck January 14, 25. So we're coming up on like a year in business on the 14th of this month. But business been good, you know, like every business, startup business. They have its ups and downs. You know, it's a learning process, but it's not hard, you know. If you're willing to get up and do the work, you can make it happen. So those people who say they can't make it happen, those are the ones that's lazy, you know, because if you're able to get up and work, why not get up and work? Life is what you make it. And like with this trucking, yes, there's going to be a lot of long days, long nights, but I'm willing to do what it takes to succeed. The dogs is still doing well. I got puppies. I only got one puppy for sale. It's a female. I don't even think I really want willing to put in the work. Me personally, I told myself I'm gonna drive for the first few years. We actually bought another truck in November 25. We had got a rental truck in August of 25. So we was running 3 trucks at one point. But I ended up letting the rental go back because I was really not making money on the rental. It was really paying for itself. It was paying for the 2 workers, the insurance, the workers' comp, fuel. Yeah, I was just pretty much breaking even. But once we bought the truck, I put those guys in the new truck. Well, in the truck that we bought in 25, I put those guys in there, and I took the new truck that we bought in 25, November 25. And we put 2 other guys in the rental for 2 weeks. I just did a guy a favor. Another thing, when you are doing any kind of business, I always be aware of who you helping, because sometimes the people that you help is not grateful enough to even acknowledge that they're being helped, or too ego-driven. The pride is in the way. But long story short, we let the rental go back. So now we just have 2 26-foot box trucks on the road. I'm actually leaving from doing the drop. Now I got on the road like I had to pick up this load at 4:15. Had to be there about 4:15. Drop the load off at 7:08. Now I'm headed back to the house. But this is very convenient. I'm home every day. Even with the other company, I'm home every day. My driver helper's home every day. The industry is good. You gotta just get up and hustle for it. So that's a little what we've been doing over here at Jonathan's Bar Kennels. I'm gonna upload a video today of the dogs and the bucks. My yard is a muddy mess. I gotta get them contracted sometime this year and come do my yard, because when it snows and rains, it floods out there with the dogs. I done put 6 yards of dirt back there, and it's still not happening. So I gotta pay somebody to come in and figure out the backyard situation. At least keep gotta put in the drain or something, because there's too much back there. But I will be uploading a video today of the dogs, the puppies. Got some work to do in the garage, in the house. My wife remodeled the upstairs baths. It's a lot of work. But I'm finna flip this camera so y'all can see me. Just talk a little bit more about the trucks. Yeah, I'm back. Contracts is not hard to get. Because you have a lot of local places that you can get a contract from. A lot of people say when you first get started in the trucking, it's hard. It's not really hard. You just got to get up and go do the work and find you something to do while you're authority age. And that's what I did. I went to the delivery service before I even bought the truck. You know, and they gave me an opportunity, and I appreciate it for it. So don't get in your head it's hard to start a truck company. It's not. You know, yes, you're gonna do some work, you're gonna spend some money, but once you get it going, it should be easy to keep it going. You just have to find a local contract in the beginning that'll get you through where you don't have to do the load boards, the factory companies. I tried it out for about 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks when I first got my authority and stuff. I went through TQL, load board, and I did like But you have to be willing to accept almost anything to keep your wheels moving. And I'm gonna tell you, you gotta have money put up too if you want to be successful in this business, because you can't invest everything you have into the truck, because you still got bills to pay next month, and if you don't have money saved to at least float you for at least 6 months, it's gonna be a bad investment. I know a guy that I have met since I've been doing trucking. He actually bought 2 trucks. Hold on, I'll be right back, y'all. My wife called. Yeah, I'm back. That was wife calling. I don't know where I left off at, but you always want to have something in place before you get your truck. You know, do your research, study, you know, because this wasn't my first choice. When I quit my job December the 4th, 2024, this wasn't my first choice. I looked into Sprinter vans. Before that, I looked into driving, being a medical carrier, driving my own personal vehicle. But it was paying the same thing that I was almost getting paid at the job that I quit. But I knew I didn't want to work for anybody else. But let me take that back. I want to be my own boss. But in this industry, you still work for somebody else. You might own your company, but you won't still work for somebody else. You won't, in life, you won't always work for somebody else. Even if you're a millionaire, you still gotta work with somebody or for somebody. You know. But I didn't want to do Sprinter van, medical carrier, because it was paying $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year. You know, with the truck, you could potentially grow between $250,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year if you move it right. You know, so I can say it's good money in trucking. You just have to stay on top of your business. You have to go out and get the contracts. You have to hustle every day. You got to get up, rain, sleet, or snow. I'm out here if it rains. I'm out here if it snows. I'm out here if it's ice on the ground. I'm trying to go get it. You know, I'm not sitting around waiting on it to come to me. But I remember where I was when I left off. It was this guy that I met doing trucking. He actually went about 2 26-foot mile truck. He didn't even have a contract. He had no idea what he was going to do. He thought he had an idea, but just by me talking to him, knowing who he is, my little bit of history I have, all the knowledge I have learned from him, our conversations, he had no idea what he was getting into. He just thought he could buy 2 trucks, put somebody in one, he'd take one, and the money would start rolling in. It could happen if, you know, proper planning, prevent poor performance, you know, but he didn't plan properly. You know, he just thought he could just make all this money that was going to work out for him. But that ain't how life works for everybody. Some people get lucky, some people don't. But he ended up buying 2 trucks. Didn't even have the first one going yet. So, long story short, once that next month came around to pay the bills, he was out of business. You know, because insurance gave him I think it was 8-11 days to make the payment. They extended for 8-11 days to make the payment, and he couldn't make the payment. So he ended up losing his insurance, losing his registration, and now the truck just sits in his yard. You know, and the other truck is sitting somewhere else. But that's just to say, you gotta make sure you plan this out. You just can't be shooting from the hip. This is your livelihood. This is how you're gonna take care of your family. This is how you're gonna pay your bills. You know, so you definitely want to be able to make sure you got your I's dotted and your T's crossed. Because at the end of the day, ain't no do-overs. When you get in this truck industry, you have to know what you're getting yourself into. A lot of late nights, early mornings, rain, sleet, snow. That load has to be delivered. Has to be picked up. You know, if you ain't out running like a chicken with your head cut off, you ain't making no money. And I'm regional. I'm home every day. So I gotta go extra hard because I'm not OTR, I'm not over the road. You know, but in this industry I have met a lot of good people. Shout out to my guy Dave, truck guy. Good dude. He haul cars. You know, that's another thing I'm thinking about getting into 2026. Hauling cars and hot shot. You know, there's some good money in it, you know. I got the box trucks, but I don't want to just put myself in a box, if you get what I'm saying. I got a box truck, put myself in a box, get it? But I don't want to just cut myself off and just solely focus on box trucks. I want to be able to make money over here on the flatbed side. I want to be able to haul cars over here. Yeah, you just got to be focused, man. Life's gonna keep life. You know, either you can be a doer, or you can just be a guy that sit around and just wait on stuff to happen. And I advise you to get up and be a doer. You know, especially if you want to have something in life. It's not hard. All you got to do is be willing to sacrifice and get up and do the job. John Doe Squad Kennels is still alive and well, but we just taking the show on the road.